Hey everybody, welcome to the May issue of Texas Saltwater Fishing Magazine. I don't know about you guys, but I sure am glad that March and most of April are behind us. That was quite the roller coaster, which really we're used to that in those months. We still have a lot of late cold fronts blowing through, and we see a back and forth weather pattern, and we have to make a lot of adjustments, which we did. But I'm ready for some consistency, and May typically is that month. We start seeing consistent warmer water temperatures that stay in the mid 70s, upper 70s. Our fish begin to school, and the forage species get larger. The shrimp, the white shrimp, are continuing their migration to the Gulf, and the shad are getting larger. These fish are just starting to really get excited, and then they show the signs that we haven't really been able to hang our hat on for the last 2 months. They'll start slicking, and they'll start scattering bait, and we'll have a lot of things that we can really use to our advantage, signs that we didn't have for the last few months. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the options that we're going to have. We'll still be doing a lot of wade fishing. We're going to be wading a lot of sandbars and coves and shallow reefs and bio drains and things like that. And we'll end up in areas near passes, especially as our tide runners start to come into our bays. But we'll also have areas that we can fish that weren't that productive the last couple of months, like the mid-bay oyster reefs. As I mentioned, these trout will begin to school, and they'll get out on these reefs and start popping slicks as they regurgitate, and it gives us an easy target. And we'll throw a lot of tails. We'll throw tops at them too out of the boat, but we'll have a lot of options. I'm really looking forward to that. So when we're wading, even when we're drifting, if there's a chop on the water, we're gonna use a lot of the mirror lure she dogs. These baits have a real high pitch rattle. They're great in semi-chop and really choppy conditions. Not just wading, but we'll throw them out of the boat as well. Another bait I really like is the Rapala Skitterwalk. This bait is kind of a universal topwater in my opinion. We can throw it in calm conditions, semi-chop, choppy conditions, wading, drifting, you name it. But it's good all around topwater. Another one I really love, and it's really good in calm conditions, is the Super Spook Junior. This bait as tiny as it is, has caught so many really solid trout through the years. It's amazing. And I'll throw it out of the boat too, especially when there's pods of tiny shad getting blasted out of the water, because we're going to continuously have new shad hatches throughout the summer here in Galveston Bay. And these smaller baits sometimes are deadly. Sometimes they won't hit top water, they won't hit a tail, they won't hit hardly anything, wading or drifting. That's when these Texas Custom Lures Double D's come into play. This is a floating twitch bait, and we catch a lot of fish in late April, May, early June on this bait. And you can straight retrieve it, you can bang it down, 5 or 6 rod twitches, let it float to the surface, and then hammer it. It's great for suspended fish, wading or drifting. Another bait that I love, similar circumstances, similar conditions, is the Barboletta Lily. This is a floating lily. Very similar to the Double D. You can hammer it down with rod tip, real quick retrieve, 5 or 6 cranks, bring it down, floats back up, wobbles while it floats, just wobbles. They'll either hit it while it's wobbling up, or they'll hit it when it raises to the surface. Either way, this bait here, and it's not a big bait, it's great in suspended, like when the bait's suspended. The small shad and the trout are swimming through their mouth open, just gorging, not really targeting anything in particular. This bait can be really, really effective. Caught some really good fish on it. Another really, really good bait, wading or drifting, is the Mirror Lure Little John XL. This bait rigged on a light jig head, like a 16th ounce jig head, especially a Pro Elite, a Bass Assassin Pro Elite jig head. It almost acts like a corky. It hovers in the water column. It stays in the strike zone a long time. Great for suspended fish, wading, even drifting, calm conditions if you're drifting. Now, we also use this a lot over open shell, but we put it on a heavier jig head, usually 1/8 or 1/4. And it's amazing. It'll cast a country mile because it's shaped like, I don't even know what it's shaped like a dart, but it will cast a long distance. And an added feature is it's impregnated with a special scent, a fish attractant in the plastic. And so in murky water, it helps to even, in murky water, it really it gives us a big advantage. Another bait that I just absolutely love, and it's my go-to, is the 5-inch rat tail saltwater assassin. This bait is just such a universal bait. I throw it drifting, I throw it wading. Of course, just like the other baits, wading, I put it on a really light jig head for the most part. Of course, there's always exceptions. If you have a real high salinity and a lot of wind and you're in waist deep water, I'll go from a 16th to an 1/8 ounce. But most of the time I'm throwing a 16th when I'm wading. And when I'm drifting, I'm throwing an 1/8 ounce most of the time. Last but not least, the ultimate go-to bait, in my opinion, for any skill level, for almost any condition, is the 4-inch Bass Assassin or Saltwater Assassin Sea Shad. And this one's rigged on a 16th ounce Bass Assassin jig head. And you can cast it out there and you can straight retrieve it, you can jig it. Anybody can use it. It creates its own action, throws off a lot of vibration. This bait, you just can't go wrong. Anyway, that's about it. And I look forward to a more consistent May, and I hope everybody catches a bunch of fish this month. And happy fishing. Take care, y'all.
Oh.
A good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a fat one.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a nice trout.
Nice one.
That's a real nice trout. He's 5+, maybe 6. There we go. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Here, get that boga. Get that boga. Or, yeah, grab the boga so we don't rub any slime off of her.